Welcome to the Rome Business School Career Toolkit podcast, where we help you navigate your career journey with insights from professionals coming from different industries. My name is Carla Ferrero, and I'm a London-based career consultant. Today, we have the pleasure of interviewing Riccardo Marino.
Thanks for having me.
Who's an HR professional from Air France and alumnus of the Rome Business School. So welcome.
Thanks.
All right, great. Can you tell us a bit about your journey since graduating?
Okay, so I graduated in Rome Business School on October 2021 and with a master in HR management.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, honestly, it has been a real journey because just right after the graduation, I applied for a stage position in a consultant society that is Human Value, using our internal job posting toolkit that is the job teaser.
Yes.
And also right after that, it started my journey. So I worked as a talent acquisition consultant, having the opportunity to meet several professionals, high level, top level, and also medium and entry level professionals in several multinational sectors, such as pharmaceutical, consumer goods, electronics, so IT also. And in this journey, I might say that I had the opportunity to know several different businesses and also the opportunity to learn how the work environment and the multinational company environment has been held, So on this side, it was such an experience. And after that, after 2 years of working as a talent acquisition consultant, I had the opportunity to start my career as a HR project manager in Air France-KLM group, that is an international airline company.
I think most of the people will know that. So you started working in consultancy, which was a bit more general and broad, probably very helpful as a first experience after graduation.
Absolutely.
And then you found your path into the airline industry.
Exactly.
So can you tell us what do you think is the biggest difference between HR in airline and a more traditional corporate setting?
Well, the main advice I can give on the main differences that are between a usual, let me say, HR in production companies, or for example, an HR in working in the airline industry, is that you really need to know the business. You need to really to know how the business is founded, how it is held on a daily basis, and also this helps you out in face the future challenges that can come from for example, the geopolitical situation, because you need to consider that our sector is highly affected from the geopolitical situation, and this will help you out a lot in anticipating which could be the most impactful challenges in your daily activities. So this is something that I really can underline as a key feature of working in this environment.
Yeah, that's very specific because you're highly impacted by whatever happens in the world.
Absolutely. You can imagine that for what has happened in the last year, for example, in our especially in the Middle East, has highly affected our business. So it's something that you really need to consider.
Yeah, and keep you up to date with the news, etc. That's very helpful advice. Yeah. Okay, great. But you've also been a recruiter. So what do you look for in candidates? Of course, they need to have the right qualification, but what is very important for you when you recruit, especially recent graduates?
Absolutely. So one of the key skill, I might say, or aspect that I usually look in recent graduates or stagiaires that, for example, apply for our positions, is to see that that thing, I may say. So
the X factor.
yeah, exactly, the X factor. No, but not so much the X factor, but the curiosity and the passion behind. So the eager to learn something new, eager to understand the business for which you're applying for, and also you can see that, for example, with the several questions that I receive directly from the stagiaires when I'm holding the interviews. So one of the key aspects that I usually look into candidates is absolutely the passion and the eager to learn.
Yeah.
These are the two skills that I'm always looking for.
Yeah, which is not something that you really learn at school. So you need to have that with you. And you touched on a point that I always discuss with students when I train them for interviews. You really need to have questions for the for your interview. You cannot say, "Oh, I'm fine."
I'm fine. No, absolutely not, because. Yeah. Because I think that is it's normal also to have that curiosity behind when you apply for a job. So, for example, how the function is structured inside the company. This is one of the basic questions that you can ask for, and also, for example, what are the challenges that you're facing on your daily activities. So. These are the questions, I might say, that can be used to know something more from rather than, can I say, from a job opportunity that you can see online.
Yeah, so you want to see that they are really motivated to work
Absolutely.
in that specific company and they're not randomly looking for a job.
Absolutely. Yeah. The motivation is the key feature that I'm looking for always.
And any other soft skill that you consider important for junior roles, especially?
For junior roles, for sure, the curiosity and also, as I was saying before, the eager to learn, that factor that I'm always searching for for the stagiaires. So when you apply for an entry-level position, of course you don't have experience.
Exactly.
Or maybe you had another small, let me say, starting experience in that sector. So the eager to learn and the curiosity is something that really drives you in your career path and also drives you in your journey, let me say. So if you are a motivated candidate on a side and also eager to learn on the other side, then you are the right candidate for that position. So this is something that I suggest. Maybe I can suggest to the stagiaires that are looking for jobs.
Of course, because sometimes they say, "Oh, but I don't want to." It sounds obvious that I want to learn, that I'm curious, and so they tend to not say that during interviews. But I always mention that it's very important to highlight that, and that it's not a cliche.
No, absolutely not a cliche, and also you can understand much more in detail from the business you are applying for by always going on LinkedIn on their company page, understand what they are looking for, what are the recent projects they are sharing to the public. So of course you cannot know the specific confidential information.
Nobody will ask you for that.
Exactly. But on the other side, if you are really how can I say, in detail of the business of which you are applying for, then it's something that really comes out when you run the interviews. Because on the other side, as a recruiter, you can see.
You see
immediately.
Exactly. If they are there because they want to be there or just because they are looking for a job.
Absolutely.
And that really makes a difference. Great. But I mean, again, you work as an HR for Air France. What are the perks of working for an airline?
Maybe one of the best unexpected perk of working in an airline is, of course, the airline tickets, which is one of the exactly, it's one of the perks, I may say, when benefits of working in this environment. But on the other side, working as an HR, so as a role of HR in such business, is having the opportunity to be in an intercultural workplace. So consider that in our we have staff all over the world, 70K staff all over the world, and whenever we are doing regional meetings and so on, we have the opportunity to meet colleagues from Greece, Israel, Turkey, France, Netherlands. So This working in a multinational company, this is one of the most important perks, because you have the possibility to confront yourself with other cultures, learn something, learn how to do the same thing but in a different way, and also learn how to face the same problem in a different way. So this is maybe a suggestion that I can give. If you can go on multicultural environment, this is one of the most important experience you can have in your life.
So free tickets and
Free tickets, of course.
multicultural
Yeah,
environment.
exactly.
That sounds right. Okay, great. But what's the most surprising thing people don't realize about HR for airlines?
Well, people don't realize how difficult it is.
Okay.
No, but jokes apart, to work in such as a diverse environment, you need really to be agile, so to adapt to each and every situation, and also to understand and to develop an important, let me say, skill in empathy. Because you can, working in a multicultural environment, you never know how something that is said in a different way can have a retro effect. So this is a way, or on the other side, you really need to adapt to each and every situation that can be different. For example, such as running meetings with unions. We are highly unionized environment, and also by using and running several new tools, so let people understand how to use the new tools. So it's
continuous learning.
Yeah, exactly. Continuous learning and being agile is something that at the beginning I was not expecting, honestly. So I needed to adapt.
Yeah, of course. But probably by now, some of the people who are listening are interested in the industry. What suggestion would you give to people who want to do the job that you're doing today or get there at some point?
Well, I can say hit my DM on LinkedIn. So
okay,
if you are,
that's a good point.
So if you have a specific questions regarding our projects, what are we doing, in which projects we are involved, our challenges, daily challenges, I might say, able to give you all the information that you want. So if you're curious, really, I can be as a, how can I say, a source of information for your future.
But you touched on a point that I discuss a lot with students and graduates. We always stress the importance of LinkedIn, of networking. But what students say a lot of the time is, "Oh, I'm shy. I feel like I shouldn't contact professional. They're very busy. What would they think? It's inappropriate." What's your take on this?
As I was saying before, never consider yourself as a disturbing one. So it's never, how can I say, never a disturbing thing being contacted from a stagiaire or someone that wants to apply for jobs and positions in our sector, to have information, not to prepare something, to just simply get to know the business.
Exactly.
So it's not absolutely a disturbing thing. So in the worst case scenario, you don't receive immediately an answer, but for sure you're going to receive one. So I think that the usage of LinkedIn and the usage of the network, specifically in our sector, is something that you need to develop,
of course,
to understand, but also to have the opportunity to jump into the business.
And especially people from the HR industry are on LinkedIn most of the time looking for talents. So absolutely. If people get in touch in a polite way, I always say to behave in a way that you would do in real life, right?
Absolutely. In fact, when there are employees, not employees, but students that are asking to me, for example, my experiences in the Rome Business School, or for example, my experience in Air France, such as in HR, it's something that it's really, really, how can I say, good for our perspective as professionals that work on the other side, but also on the other side, by sharing information, is something that is absolutely a key aspect of our profession. So I really suggest to the students to hit our DMs and
don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Never be shy. Really.
Be professional, of course,
but
not shy.
But never shy. And also consider that this is an opportunity also to develop a relationship, because of course, if as a professional on the other side, I see that there's the opportunity maybe to have a open-minded stagiaire for a curricular internship, a summer work or summer internship in our company. Well, why not? I had the opportunity already to know this person, so why not give him the chance?
But because it's a human thing to look within the network, when you need someone, you first look at your network because you trust it more. It's probably easier to connect, quicker, etc. So that's a very good point. But also probably going back to the curiosity and to the eagerness to learn more and learn about people from people in the industry, I think is a very good point. And not to see this thing as transactional, because maybe we connect today and maybe we don't talk for a year, but then maybe it will come back at some point.
Exactly, absolutely. In most of all, if you are really curious and you make an impact on the person on the other side that receives the message and shares the opinion, then you will never be forgotten, I might say. So in this case, it's also an opportunity to let other professionals and people know yourself, know your behavior, know your skills, and also why not knowing you in person. So it's something that how can I say? Never consider yourself as a distant one.
That's a good point.
Use the social, use LinkedIn, use whenever you can have such as an instrument to cut the distance between yourself and the professionals that work in the environment, because it's one of the most important, I may say, experiences that you can have. So really is something that I suggest.
Connect in real life, online.
Connect.
However you can.
However you can, exactly.
That's good. But so today it looks like you're doing a job that you really enjoy. But what's one piece of career advice that you would have liked to receive 5 or more years ago?
Well, honestly, when I decided to completely change my career path in 2020, that was one of the most challenging ones. Say. So a piece of advice that I would really have liked to have, honestly, was the one that I was sharing to you before. So by using the network, by getting to know each other, by getting to know the professionals, it's and cutting the distance. It's something that eases up your life in changing your career path, no? And on the other side, it's giving you the possibility to understand in which aspect of yourself you need to work on to be as much as appreciable, let me say, for a job interview that you can run in your future days, no? So the main piece of advice that I can share with you and also with the students is especially to cut the distance. Cut the distance, use the network, and also never be shy, never consider yourself a disability.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But you said you've changed career.
Yes.
So from what I know, you studied law, you graduated in law, you did the national exam to become a lawyer, which is a great achievement. And then you decided to do something
completely different, let me say.
Different. But that's a big topic with students. I hear a lot of them saying, oh, I want to change, but it's too late. Or I studied this, so how can I move to a different industry? Can you tell us a bit about your change, which happened in 2020, on top of everything?
Yeah, on top of everything. So where it was, let me say, we never knew what was happening in a month's time. No, but my start of career path was not so much different from what I'm doing now, let me say. But of course, there are changes in your career path for which you need to have a specific skills. For example, if I'm a lawyer and I want to be an engineer, I need to start from scratch. So if you really want to have this chance and to completely change your career, well, it's never too late. So start from the point that it's never too late. And on the other side, if you don't want to do a completely different career in your life, but you want to have a transversal opportunity, in this situation, I underline another time, it's never too late. And also take the opportunity, because at the beginning I was a recruiter, and I had several interviews with people that started, for example, a career, for example, as a lawyers, and then they started to be HR, then they had really interesting opportunities to develop their careers. And of course, the motivation that is at the baseline of your decision is the key aspect that needs to come out when you run job interviews, but also when you are telling to yourself, am I doing the right choice?
Of course,
because also it's an interview that you do to yourself whenever you are starting a new path. Am I doing the right choice? And if you had the right motivation, yes, it's never a bad choice.
But in general, I think nowadays having one career for your whole life, it's a bit difficult unless you really have a mission. But I mean, maybe a lot of the jobs that people will do in 10, 15 years, they don't even exist today. So it's something that might happen to everyone.
In fact, being adaptable and being agile is something that you need to have in the nowadays working environment, because you never know what you can face on your daily basis. So if I go back at the beginning, when I started my journey in HR, I didn't know how to do anything, and you needed to learn on the job, So at the beginning, it's different when you study and then you practice, something like that. And in this situation, being agile is something that really helps you out, because it's something that also helps you in not have a closed box of activities that you need to do, but to give you the possibility to get outside the box. So it's something that you really need to develop. Absolutely.
Great. I think we got a lot of value from this conversation. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you, Riccardo.
Thanks.
I hope it was useful to all the students and graduates from Rome Business School. Thank you for staying with us, and see you next time.